Everybody, it's Abby Glassenberg from Craft Industry Alliance. I hope you are having a fabulous day today. We come every Wednesday, we come to you live to talk with one of our amazing Craft Industry Alliance members to learn more about their business. Sometimes we get a little tour around their studio or see some samples of what they're working on. It's always very fun. And today we're going to be talking with Michelle from Color Me Happy Fiber Arts and talk with Michelle. Michelle is an expert in natural dyeing, which is something that I'm very interested in and very excited to learn more about. So, Michelle, there you are.
Great. Hi, Abby.
Hi, nice to see you. I love all the skeins of beautiful yarn in your background. So, I would love to learn more about you, Michelle. Tell us a little bit about your fiber business.
Great. We are a naturally dyed yarn and fiber, and my business partner, Linda Williams, and myself started this during the pandemic. We have been lifelong crafters and knitters and have worked together for about 25 years in research and decided we wanted to try something new and creative. So Color Me Happy Fiber Arts was born.
It's a great name, and I think Color Me Happy, yeah, great name. So, so how did you learn about natural dyes? Because that's a whole world. I mean, I think we're all familiar, even from being kids and using, RIT dyes to tie-dye things. We know what that is. But natural dye is a whole world in and of itself. It's very cool. There's a lot of science behind it. So tell us how you learned about that side of things.
Oh, great. Well, I did start with a little Kool-Aid dyeing. And then I took a little class and learned about greener shades as kind of an eco-friendly acid dye. And really got excited about that. And I asked Linda to come and play with me one day. And she said, well, why don't we use natural dyes? Because she is a gardener and has a small farm. And so she brought over her marigold and goldenrod. And we just started playing. And then we took several workshops. Jean Haley is one of our friends and mentors. She does a lot of natural dyes and has some great workshops. We read a lot of books, and we've done a lot of experimenting and note-taking and retrying our experiments and things like that. So it's been quite a process, but we're able to apply our research skills from our day jobs that we had. I recently retired I was a university professor until July 1st.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah. So we got to use, and she is still a researcher and she's a neurologist. And so we both come to this work with a love of science as well as nature and crafting. And so being able to put all those things together has just been so much fun for us.
Yeah. Okay, tell us a little bit about your other job, your university professor job, and what it is that you did then there before you retired.
Yeah, so I am a clinical psychologist and was part of a graduate training program for several years. I was the director of that, where we train people to become clinical psychologists. And my research was primarily on helping adults with severe mental illness recover a life of meaning and being able to be in community, getting back to work, pursuing their own recovery-related goals. And then I also did some work with clinicians on helping reduce burnout and stress at work.
That's great. Both wonderful pursuits. And for you, has knitting and playing with fiber in different ways been a way to reduce your own stress?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's just such a tactile and soothing and repetitive kind of motion, but you also have the side of planning and creativity, learning new things, and so you have a sense of mastery and challenge at the same time, and those are really good things for helping reduce stress. And the third area maybe is being in community. A lot of times we knit or craft with other people, and that's also can be very stress reducing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. These are all things we intuitively know, but coming from somebody who is trained in this area, it's always good to actually know that it's true. So that's great to hear.
Yeah.
And so you and your business partner, how are you selling these skeins of yarn that you're dyeing? Is it online only? Are you doing markets, or how is the business side working for you?
Yeah, all of the above. We do quite a few markets and like local trunk shows at different yarn shops. But we do have an online presence as well, and so people can buy our yarn on our website. A lot of times I think people want to feel it and see the colors. But during the pandemic, I think we also learned that you can buy things online.
Yeah. Everyone who has
You
ever
can buy
bought
yarn.
yarn online has now bought yarn online. So yes, right. We kind of got over that hump to a degree. It's not quite the same experience, but.
Right. But we can also do a like video calls with people if they want to check the color, make sure what the color is. But yeah.
And what kind of fibers are you dyeing?
Well, primarily a protein-based fiber. So we love wool and alpaca, silk, different kinds of blends. We have a couple of types of yarn that are superwash that you could, might be good for baby clothes and children. But what we really love are local fibers. And so we've been working with a couple of different farms to buy local Cormo yarn, Cormo fleece. Then we take it to the mill and get it spun into yarn. And we also have another local alpaca farm that we work with, and they have the Surrey alpaca. So
That's so cool, and such a fun part of this, part of the industry to be involved in, is to just know all of these farmers and see the raw material and watch it go through the whole process. I think it's really, coming from a sewing background, I feel like it's such a special aspect of the yarn world that we kind of miss out on at times.
It's really neat. Just this week, I had a friend come over and she helped me do some skirting of the Cormo fleece, and we put together a new skirting table. And so I have coolers in the backyard where the dye garden is. I've got 3 coolers going with a whole bunch of fleece in different processes of cleaning.
That's so cool. Yeah. And so what are some of the questions that people, when you do markets and you interact with, your potential customer base, what are some of the questions that people have when they see, oh, it's naturally dyed? I'm sure you kind of get or hear the same kind of questions multiple times.
Yeah. Often people are worried about light fastness. Is it going to fade as soon as I wear it?
Yeah.
And we always try to remind people that if you are in museums or you see old tapestries, anything before the 1850s, it was all natural dyes.
Right.
And so if you are treating your fibers correctly and using your pre-mordants, they should be fairly light fast. I mean, even with acid dyes, if you set something out in your yard or your front window, it's going to fade.
Right. We've all seen that. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a big question. I feel like that would be the first question most people would ask.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people are surprised by the amount of color that we can achieve. Like when people think of natural dyes, often I think they think of walnut and yellow. So a lot of browns.
yellow and brown or something. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And
Yes.
so when they see, oh, you have magenta,
Right.
they're kind of like surprised that that even is possible.
Yeah. Yeah. But we there are a lot of combinations of things, like the cochineal bug is
Hmm.
something that we use quite often, and that gives the fuchsia
Yeah,
colors and different levels of pinks and reds, and then you can mix those with um, yellows and get bright oranges, and it's
yeah,
so much fun to do all those combinations
yeah.
too.
Right, exactly. And it's better for the environment too. I mean, I feel like the other piece of this is what you're going to be making with this yarn that you bought. It's probably going to take you 30 hours. I mean, who knows? But it's going to take you a very long time. And so already this is going to be something very special. And I think it's even nicer. It's nice to use special tools and it's nice to use special supplies so that in the end, you don't end up with something that you knit from acrylic yarn that you hate. It's really something that you love.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. We buy the fleece and the types of fibers that we like to work with too, and that it just feels so good in your hands when you're using it, and then feels good when you're wearing it too.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Do you have some samples around you that you would like to show us or could show us? Because of course we always want to see.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So one of my favorite things to do is hand painting on
Oh,
yarn,
yeah.
where we use the natural colors, natural dye materials, but make um, different kinds of things in addition to a lot of the tonal colors. Um, One of the things that people tend to love are our mini kits that we use.
Yeah.
Um, and so with our mini sets, there's 5 of them, and then at the back we tell you what they're dyed with. So we always
That's great.
highlight
It's like
what we
ingredients.
use. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So people can see. There's another one that's
Oh,
kind of
so
fun
beautiful.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have lots of different yarns. We also have fiber. We do classes as well, and
Okay.
so those are a lot of fun to do. And we also have solar dye kits that come in a little jar. Um, and that's kind of the easiest way, I think, to learn about natural dyes,
So
because we've already done.
is this kind of like making sun tea or whatever, where you're just putting the water and the tea leaves in that case out in the sun and you're letting it steep
Yeah,
naturally with no added heat? It's just using
yeah,
the sun as the motor. Okay, so that's really cool. I would love to try it on a sun kit. How does this work?
yeah, exactly like that. So we have already pre-mordant the yarn,
Okay.
and you choose your color packet. If you want reds, then you'll get a little cochineal, coreopsis, um, marigold for the yellow. And then we have another one that gives you blues, because we've pre-mordanted the yarn with copper sulfate. And then when you put logwood, which is normally a purple color, it turns blues and greens. It's gorgeous. Um, so those little kits come with written instructions and also a little QR code that takes you to a video of me in the garage showing different techniques. So if you want speckled, you can kind of sprinkle the materials on, stuff them in the jar, and then put some water in. Or if you wanted more of a gradient, you could mix your materials in water and heat them up, and then have those in the bottom of your jar, and then put your yarn in. So the bottom will get dark and the top will be lighter.
Right.
So there are different ways that you can use the kits to get different types of effects on your
That
yarn.
sounds like an amazing gift for anyone interested in fiber. I would love to have that and something to do with my daughter, who's an avid knitter. That's super cool. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it's nice too with a kit because it's a way to get started. Where if you're brand new to something like to natural dyeing, and you may not want to invest in expensive materials because you don't really know if you like doing it, or you also may not know what to buy. This gives you you've pre-mortated the yarn, like this gives you everything you need to be successful, let you try it. And then if you want, you can go deeper. But I feel like that's such a nice thing about a kit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great stepping stone or just a fun activity to do.
Right, exactly. And then what kind of classes are you teaching?
Right now we focus on the hand painting technique, and it's more like instead of an in-depth um, to become a natural dyer, it's more to give people the experience of it. And so they're usually between 2 and 3 hours, and we focus either on a single skein, like a sock yarn, or I did one last week at Evanston Stitchworks, and we did dye gradient. And so everyone had 5 minis, and we talked about maybe having 2 base colors and how would you apply the materials in between so you could have a gradient.
Right, which is awesome.
Yeah, so those are the types of classes that we've been doing so far.
That's super great. Okay, so I think everyone listening is going to want to follow along and see what you're up to next, etc. So tell us your Instagram, and then also, you know, for your website, is there a newsletter or anything else that we should sign up for so that we can kind of keep up with what you're doing?
Yes, we do have a newsletter. You can go on our website, colormehappyfiberarts.com.
Okay.
Also, we're on Instagram, Facebook. And YouTube. We have a YouTube show too.
Nice.
So we do like a monthly studio show, and then sometimes we put up shorter videos of little experiments that we're doing. And then our newsletter comes out once a month. We do kind of a full, here's what we've been up to, what's in our dye pots kind of thing. And then sometimes we'll put out shorter ones about where people can find us.
That's amazing. I love it. This has been so great. I love talking to you and learning more about your business. I also think it's so inspiring. You've had this beautiful career leading up to this time, doing such important work. And now you're having like a whole second creative career with a friend doing something else that's also beautiful work and also helps people de-stress and find community, as you said. I mean, it's like a great second chapter, and I think it's inspiring for people who are like, gosh, I want to do that. I want to have a second chapter. You know, here's someone who's doing it. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel so fortunate that I have one career that I really love. And I still have some graduate students that I work with, and I love that work, but I love playing with fiber and color and being creative. And so, it's never too late. If people are thinking about starting a new career, contact me. I can give you some support and some tips.
That's great. You can do it, you know, right. That's awesome. It is never too late. That is a truism. So take that to heart. Thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us today. Thank you to everybody who came by, and we will see you next week for our next member spotlight. But Michelle, we love having you as a member, so thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Abby. This was fun.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye, everybody.